This is a third and fourth stimulus check update for Social Security recipients. April 7th is the official payment date to receive the third stimulus check electronically. I'll also give you more details on other important payment dates as well. President Biden unveiled the $2 trillion infrastructure bill. So we're going to talk about the $200 per month increase for Social Security. There's a new push for $50,000 in student loan forgiveness. And with the fourth stimulus check, a new study came out saying that it could lift up to 7 million people out of poverty, and also give you more details about the $2,000 per month stimulus check. And then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. I hope you're having a great day. If you appreciate these fact-based, fast-paced updates, then hit the like button down below. So I want to get your opinion on this first. There's a battle that is raging over the vaccine passport. So I think a lot of people think vaccine passport is something that you would need to get onto an airplane. Basically what it is, it's certifying that you were vaccinated, but it's not just for travel. They want to use it for buildings, activities, and events. In order to get into it, you would have to show your vaccine passport. So if you want to go to a restaurant or the grocery store, you would have to have your vaccine passport. And if you don't have it on you, then you can't get into the building. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. Should there be vaccine passports to get into your local buildings or not? Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments below. Next, let's talk about stimulus checks for Social Security recipients. The electronic date is April 7th. So that is the official payment date according to the IRS. This is the update. I went over this yesterday. It's a big mess of words, but the most important part of it is that the majority of these payments will be dispersed electronically through direct deposits and payments to existing Direct Express cards. They would be received on the official payment date of April 7th. So that is just for electronic payments. If you're expecting paper checks, if that's how you normally get your federal benefits, we don't have a date yet for that. As soon as I find out, I'll keep you updated. Also, another important update is that the Get My Payment tool is not working as of now. They said that they're working on it and it'll work starting April 3rd or April 4th. So if you check the Get My Payment tool now, it's not going to give you any new information, so don't check until the weekend. If we look at the calendar here, so one important payment date was yesterday. That was the direct deposits that went out with the third wave of stimulus checks. And then Friday, tomorrow, April 2nd, is when the paper checks and debit cards are going to be mailed out. And then April 7th is for Social Security recipients and hopefully everyone else who hasn't yet received their stimulus check. That's just electronic. And if we're going to look at the pattern of what they've been doing, it looks like April 9th is probably when they're going to send out paper checks to those who are looking for the Social Security recipients who haven't yet received their stimulus check. It's the mail out date, not when you're going to receive it. Also, fun fact, April 9th happens to be my birthday. Also, let's talk about what's happening with the firing of Andrew Saul, who is the Social Security Administrator. So there's a lot of Democrats calling for the firings of the holdovers from Social Security administrators. I don't like to say either Trump or Biden because I feel like that's irrelevant, but basically the person in charge of the Social Security Administration was holding up the stimulus checks because he did not get enough funding. That's Andrew Saul, which I think is horrible. It's horrible that they would hold up all those stimulus checks of 30 million people, of our elderly, of our most vulnerable, of disabled people. It's kind of sickening to think about why they would do that and the greed behind it. I really think it's horrible, but hopefully they get it all sorted out. They fire who needs to be fired. I'll keep you updated on what's happening with more stimulus checks. Talking about Social Security, I get asked this question a lot. Chase Johnson asks, when will we receive the extra $200 per month? How about the $200 extra for Social Security? What happened to that? So I'm going to get into the $200 increase for Social Security, but first I just want to cover infrastructure really quick, and then I'll get into the $200 increase and the fourth stimulus check. So really quick, yesterday President Biden unveiled the plan for the infrastructure bill, giving more details. This is the fact sheet from the White House website. So it is going to be split into two different parts. The first part, which he spoke about, is the American Jobs Plan, which is just about infrastructure. So buildings, roads, bridges, all that. This is what it is right here. I'm not going to go over all the details, but it's water, it's broadband and power, it's transportation. It's kind of overwhelming how many categories and the dollar amounts going to it. But the most important part, probably the part you care about most, is the American Family Plan. So they just take out the jobs, and it's going to be the American Family Plan, which is supposed to be revealed in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be more about the social programs. So this is where we could probably see the $200 increase in Social Security, where we're going to see a potential fourth stimulus check, maybe the potential $15,000 for first-time home buyers, student loan debt forgiveness. So that's probably where we're going to see that. So what we see so far is already criticism. So Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell slams tax hikes in Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure bill and says he will not support it. So when he's talking about tax hikes, this is still tax hikes on the rich. They haven't mentioned any tax hikes on the average person, so it's going to be taxing the richest people as well as corporations, going from a 21% to 28% corporate tax rate increase. Mitch McConnell said, "It's like a Trojan horse. It's called infrastructure, but inside the Trojan horse, it's going to be more borrowed money and massive tax increases on all the productive parts of our economy," talking about the big businesses. So that's what happened with the infrastructure bill. I'm not going to get more into detail on that because most likely you care about stimulus checks and more of the social programs. But if you want me to go more in detail of the infrastructure bill, the American Jobs Plan, let me know down in the comments below and I'd be more than happy to do that. Quickly, let's talk about the student loan debt forgiveness. So the other day I mentioned this, President Biden's canceling another $1.3 billion in student loan debt. Basically, this is for people who already got their student loan debt canceled and somehow the money went back on. But we're not talking about that. That's kind of the, that's something else. I want to talk about the big, massive, either $10,000 or $50,000 student loan forgiveness for everybody with federal student loans. Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren just spoke about this. So here's a quick clip about that.
So we have very good news for so many people who have student debt, a load of student debt on their shoulders. They could be young people, middle-aged, they could be parents. And the good news is this: we've made another good step forward on our progress. Senators Warren and Menendez authored an amendment that said if student debt is forgiven, you no longer have to pay taxes on it. You used to have to pay taxes on it, and that was no good. I was able to add it to the American Rescue Plan we just passed, so now it's law. Once student debt is forgiven, no matter how much, no taxes.
And this is about moving forward. This is our moment of momentum. We have got one more piece in place, and now we're just ready for President Biden to sign the piece of paper to say cancel $50,000 worth of student loan debt. And when he does that, he will close the racial wealth gap between blacks and whites who have student loan debt by 25 points, between Latinos and others by 25 points. There's not a single thing he could do on his own in one fell swoop to make that kind of difference. It would be historic.
So that is the big push for the $50,000 in student loan forgiveness. So far, it is just Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren who are pushing for $50,000. If we look at President Biden's website, what he campaigned on, which was the Biden Emergency Action Plan, if we scroll down a bit, so President Biden said he wanted to forgive $10,000 per person in federal student loans. And if you noticed, Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren were so excited and giddy and happy about this. I just wish they would take that passion and put it towards the $200 per month Social Security increase, because that's also another thing that President Biden campaigned on. And unfortunately, we haven't heard anything about this. It's been crickets. I'm really hoping that they announce it in the American Family Plan, but they didn't mention anything about it. So for Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer to be all giddy about $50,000 in student loan debt, I think that's important. But what about our people on Social Security? These are the people that we should care about most in our country. Respect our elders, respect people who are disabled and are most vulnerable. So regarding the $200 per month increase, if we look, a year ago, Chuck Schumer, Elizabeth Warren, and Wyden, they unveiled a plan to increase benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. This was released March 21st of 2020, over a year ago, and they haven't mentioned anything about it. They mentioned a lot of other social programs, but not the $200 per month increase. So I'm really hoping that they at least address it soon or mention it and have it in the American Family Plan, which should come out over the next few weeks, according according to the White House. So I'll keep you updated on that. Subscribe to the channel if you want to know the latest of the $200 per month Social Security increase, which may be announced in the next 2 weeks in the American Family Plan. Also, with the third stimulus check news and fourth stimulus check news, subscribe to the channel. Speaking of fourth stimulus check, let's talk about that right now. So there was a new study done saying that fourth stimulus check could lift 7 million people out of poverty. So according to this study, it said that another round of payments could lift an additional 6.6 to 7.3 million people out of poverty, which makes me question, would the fourth stimulus check be more targeted and just help out those people who are in poverty? Not sure, but there's news coming out every day on fourth stimulus check, so I want to share this news with you. This just came out yesterday, March 31st. This is saying, for the fourth stimulus check, Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren are pushing President Biden for $2,000 monthly checks. So there's a lot of different plans going around, a lot of different proposals. So far, at this point, there are 21 Democrat senators who are for a recurring stimulus check in the Senate. And then in the House, I think there's around 40 plus Democrat progressives who are for recurring stimulus checks being a fourth stimulus check in this next package. So I'll keep you updated on that. I'm going to be honest, I don't really see a $2,000 per month monthly stimulus check happening, at least not as broad as the other stimulus checks, and may be more targeted. If you've been following stimulus checks for the past 6 months, you know how hard it was just to pass a $600 check and a $1,400 check. I don't see how a $2,000 monthly check will pass. But I'll keep you updated on that. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. So Liz Fernandez asks, if my son didn't file taxes in 2020 because he didn't work, how could he get his $1,400 check? So if he filed taxes the previous year, 2019, or if the IRS just has his information on file, if they have a direct deposit, they could send it via direct deposit or even paper check. If your son hasn't checked the Get My Payment tool yet, I recommend checking that. I know it's also the Waste My Time tool and it doesn't work for everyone, but if he is expecting a stimulus check, I recommend him checking that. Diana Rainey said, I am disabled and can't work to pay off student loans. Are they going to help me too? Hopefully. So we haven't heard anything official yet with student loan debt forgiveness. President Biden wants $10,000, Schumer wants $50,000. The American Family Plan is coming out in a couple of weeks, which is going to have those type of social programs. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll hear more about that. Next question comes from Allison Miller. Sorry, but it's hard to believe what the government is saying. I will believe it when I see it, when I get it. If it was not a need, I wouldn't care when it comes to it, but I have bills to pay before things get cut off. So tell me why I should believe the government. Yeah, so you're not alone. I got a lot of comments yesterday saying that they don't even believe April 7th is when the stimulus checks are going to come for Social Security recipients. They think it's going to be delayed again because, everyone's been saying a week. And then Social Security recipients get the biggest delay of all. So yeah, you're not wrong to think about that, especially with all the lives we've had over the past few months. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today. To hopefully brighten your day a bit, here is my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is a tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing when you feel sad, you have to do something that you really want to make you feel better or make you feel true. Or you can also, if you help somebody, then you'll feel even better or something. Or if something's really into you and you're really feeling good, you should do that as well. Bye, this is Bella. This was the tip of the day.
And if you want to feel in a better mood, just elevate your happiness just a tiny bit, get a quick boost, I recommend clicking this video over here to my Wise Vibes channel. On that channel, I'm all about trying to inspire and motivate people and at least make people feel a little bit better after watching a few minutes of the videos. So click that video right now and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.